did this actual con game start? Like, when did the paperwork start? To they say, oh, you got to. Did it start with the Andrew Jackson removal of?
It started with the Paris Accord, known as the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. They decided that they needed to have what's called a uniform code. The uniform also means dress code. Mm-hmm. But the uniform in the court system is the paperwork. Mm-hmm. Right? If you following the paperwork, what they say you following? The track record. You following the track record. Okay. So the start of it over here, it came about when they started deceiving our ancestors into signing on the dotted line. They would give them the contract, and the elders, we did paperwork, but the paperwork wasn't the binding agreement. Our binding agreements was the word of mouth. Our paperwork was just for the town clerk to read into the public record so that the sufficient enough citizens know what's going on the land. That's the only reason why we had paperwork. Mm-hmm. Other than that, everything else we done was when we did purchase agreements, it was what you call a handshake deal. Mm-hmm. We did construction agreements with the other families. It was a handshake deal because we operated out of what was called honor, right? And truth. Mm-hmm. They operate out of maritime and admiralty. What the fuck? That don't got nothing to do with honor and truth. Yeah. Their system is called a system of levy and lien. Mm-hmm. Levy is the tribe of Levi. Lien is the anagram for Enlil. Go ahead. We're taking us back to the same motherfuckers. So the paperwork really began as papal bulls by decree of the Pope, right? As long as when the Pope decree it, if you don't have nobody to stand up against it, all of the sovereigns enforce it as law, right? So there is no papal bull older than 325 AD because first the Catholic Church had to be created. The Catholic Church was created by the Council of Nicaea, and the doctrine of the church was predicated upon a doctrine called the Nicene Creed. Right? Them was all niggas.
Go ahead.
So what? Yeah. So once they started writing papal bulls, they was sending them to be read into the public record. And if nobody protested, it became what's considered as law. Once they declared that all humans of the earth was under the authority of the Pope, because they was imbeciles, a sovereign doesn't have to send you a written notice. He just put it out in the ethers and let the universe do what the universe do. Right? Whereas the subject got to request written permission from the warden of the prison to get a visitor pass.
Passport.
Yes. Every time you sign a document, you sign a document that verifies you an imbecile, incompetent in handling your own affairs, and you giving your jurisdiction of your incompetent status back to the people who need you to fill out the paperwork that verifies your imbecility.
That's right. You on point, bro.
Right. So just like products need a serial number, a national also need a nationality number. Today we call them social security numbers.
Yeah.
Now, with this social security number comes an indemnity account, but the only person can access it is called a trustee or a
guardian.
No, it's a trust holder, right? Or a rightful heir. A rightful heir can seize it as long as he know his cultural and traditional method for seizing the jurisdictional authority from the one who has his stuff. So basically, it's like, I say, Elder, you live next door to me. I'm going to be gone out of town for 7 years, right? I need you to take care of my property for 7 years. And when I get back, I'm going to cut you a square off the closest side of my property to yours to compensate you for holding my stuff. When I go for 7 years, you don't tell your son, and you actually die of old age, and your son been taking care of my property because he's seen you doing it. When I get back, he don't want to give me all my shit. He don't know our agreement. So now I'm writing him letters begging for my shit because I didn't have a means for you to relay the information to him as a contingency. Now multiply that by 15 generations of motherfuckers. 500 years of oppression. The only way out at this point is to get to the first allodial title ascribed to the land. And we did that already.
Hey, my next question I got for you, Rod, is okay, so now that the paperwork, if we stop doing a paperwork, because some people saying, oh, the paperwork is how we get to this, how we fix everything. And then you got some people saying that, hey man, by us not doing the paperwork, we're gonna be just sitting ducks, just sitting around, right? So
No.
Go ahead.
We gotta kill their old system. We gotta start using their system so little that they know we don't need them no more. Then our system automatically kicks in. Right? But we are, but look, we believe because the police got on the uniform that legitimizes him on the land. We need police for these motherfuckers came. And we was legitimate than a motherfucker. The police came in slave patrols with foreign agents. They are a subset of United Nations enforcement groups. America has been an occupied territory ever since Columbus landed. The second time he came, he brought hell and high water with him. But he scouted us out first. You don't have to believe it, but you can see it. If you don't know where to find the keys at to the kingdom, you barking up at you howling at the moon in broad daylight. How insane is that? You howling at the moon in broad daylight. That just don't happen. That paperwork is an over sensationalism of legal imbecility.
Hey, so we got Tar Sharik Bey, Master Teacher Tar Sharik Bey. We study his stuff, and so the stuff that all that stuff that he put out about, I can say it was a waste of time. Because it's like we learned all that stuff.
It's expired. He was telling you right the whole time, but it's expired now, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
When Taj was teaching civics, it was for us to understand civics. Right? The civics was application of law. Right? Once you understand the application of law, I don't care about the history. That wasn't what his job was. His job was to teach civics. And he wasn't the best civics teacher you're going to ever get. Taj tell you that when you do the paperwork, you only doing it for your own records. That's for your record. That ain't for you to be. You send somebody notice, you are confirming that they are your superior. They own the copyrights to the paperwork. So when you take the paperwork they got the copyright to and you serve them notice, you are verifying the fact that you are imbecile in law because you don't know that you just sent them an instrument that they can levy a lien on your indemnity account and cash a check without you never even seeing it. That's what they do. When Noble Drew Ali was doing nationality, it wasn't the same. Go ahead, Elder.
Oh no! So now that we're going into 2024, and with the president election coming up, and we said that Donald Trump was still the president, and you know, what do you think? Like, so, okay, we don't do no paperwork. We sit right here. Now I know I understand what you're saying, because I feel like
we still got to tribe up though. We still got to tribe up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, only thing we're missing is the mines, because the Federal Reserve is really the money system is based on the mines. It's not based on gold or nothing. It ain't bagged by nothing. So what I'm saying is the money system, everything. So what do we do? Do we sit back? You say we tribe up, right? You tribe up. So how
that's what we need to be focusing on.
Yeah, tribability, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. So we first got to recognize that it's hundreds of chiefs across the land. There's more female chiefs than it is males, but our roles is different. That's the first thing we got to understand in the culture. The next thing we got to understand is that if we don't know what our tribe is, we could pick a chief to support, right? In order to, but the whole thing is building up families, right? So I tell the young chiefs, you got to first build your status in your family as the one who builds the bridges between the ones who know each other and the ones who don't, right? This is tribing up. We ain't gang banging no more. We know where the tribe's at. We brain banging now. So we having family functions. We drawing family together. We stepping away from the system and letting it fall. We going back to the families that got farms, and we know who the farms is. We sending sons to go help work the farms. Yeah, they ain't gonna want to go. Them teenage boys ain't gonna want to go work on no goddamn farm. But if they know that they ass gonna starve, they don't. They'll work. They'll figure it out. Right? We need to start tribing up. If you don't know who your chief is, right, you can support a chief that you know. I know him from the land, right? Or even if it's a foreigner over here, a foreigner could be like, I'm foreign to the land and I'm seeking acceptance from this chief, right? So we had contingencies in play. There's no tribal member that's left in bastard status to a tribe. Any tribe that you're close to that's functional, you can tie in to that tribe with permission of their chief. Hey, chief, I know I'm from the land. I know I got blood rights, blood ties to the land, but my history is so murky that I can't find my ancestral lines to which tribe, and I need to be under the chief's banner. The Nuwabian is already under Malachi. He already a chief. That's Chief Black Eagle, right? They don't need those. All they got to do is hold Malachi name firm to the burners. They don't got to do nothing else. But he coming to clean house, and if you motherfuckers ain't right, that's on you. Y'all gonna have to deal with niggas like Phase One, and they are pissed, and validly so. The same with Angel Bay. He know who the dirty players is. The same with Larry Hoover. We all know who infiltrated us and where the infiltrators at. It's somebody standing next to every infiltrator waiting on the go order. Right? So if you think you just gonna infiltrate, it's not gonna work that way. You gotta come with them 5 principles, as Noble Drew Ali said: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And justice comes at the tip of the sword. You can't forget that. We lead with love, but we end with the sword.
Hey, I got another question. Hey, speaking of paperwork, in the Constitution, Now I heard some of the scholars or elders say that the Constitution was set up by us. We had it over here before they came. Now, uh, so it's like the Constitution. Now we know shit being ratified and added and twisted around. With the 14th Amendment, the 13th Amendment. Now, like it's for people that's asking in the crowd. They saying if they did the paperwork, if they tied in with the system, birth certificates and all that, signed the Moore's paperwork and went through with it, how do they reverse it? Or do they have to reverse it, or do they just
There's only one. There's only one remedy when the fraud is discovered for you not to be a party to the fraud, and that's to abandon the contract. You abandon the contract by not participating in any contractual agreements from there forward because you discovered the fraud. You just walk away. You walk away and you go back to, as Elijah Muhammad said, you go back to your own and you be yourself. You never needed a piece of paper to be yourself. Why would you need one now? That's their system. That's not our system. We under the great law. No big eyes, no little you. Every sovereign count.
Say what? So okay, all right. What about the people like what was the guy named Cypher in the Matrix? He wanted to go back into the Matrix. He liked the system. He doing good in this. He wanted to do good in the system. He got a nice car. He got the jewelry. He got the girl. He got it going on in this reality, in this white man's world, or in this world. So and he want to go back into the system. What do we deal? How do we deal with people like that?
You let them.
Go ahead.
You let them, because them gonna be who gonna work. We gonna be rich. And the ones like Cypher is going to be the ones in the Matrix doing the work to hold the system together.
Simple as this, right?
That's simple.
Cyphers out here. They love the system. They love fast food and be able to go to the liquor store and get them some poison. They love it, right? Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like the devil's system. Okay, this is what I was going to ask you. Okay, people were saying once this, because we getting pretty close. I feel it. We getting pretty close to. I did a pitch on AI of my son. Look, AI is crazy, man. Because like my son, right? I put a picture in there. I said, show me what Haru looked like in it was like 2040, 2043, I think it was. And the picture popped up, right? And man, this nigga got a mohawk, right? I'm saying, how the fuck the AI know he had a mohawk? One, and then his little ducktail, how the AI knew that, right? It shows him at 20, like he was like 25 at this time, right? And it shows him looking up at the air, and then he got a Native American earring in his ear on this side, and then he had like some kind of native all white suit on, like a Native American suit. And I said, damn, this fucking AI. I said, so just look at that picture, it made me think by that time they knew we knew on the land who we was, the way he was looking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, damn, this shit, I have a feeling it's gonna play out. Everything you're saying is coming. People just they want everything fast because they used to fast food, they used to everything fast. So they wanted to happen now. Let me see it. What you talking about? Let me see it go now. This shit is a process, like it's happening. I'm telling you, it's happening, man. And what my question to you is, what do you see? Because based on now us cutting off the paperwork, if we start cutting off they shit, whatever they system stop dealing with their system, what do you see the outcome? Do they fight? Do they turn against us? Because I know that the Chinese, they gonna honor our word when they come over here. They ain't give a fuck about no paperwork because they don't. Because these dudes didn't honor no paperwork anyway. They didn't honor no treaties anyway. None of their treaties, even the treaties they made, they didn't honor that shit.
So why would they honor our nationality claim with paperwork?
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so let's go into this AI and your son. Do you ever heard of Operation Looking Glass?
Nuh-uh.
It's
yeah. You talking about Operation Looking Glass with the 33rd degree Freemasons, and it's like a device looking to the future.
It's look into the future, and it was created by the military and Department of Defense and CIA to try to, and they kept saying that everything they put in as a calculation comes back to the singularity that they can't escape. Right? AI is also tied to Operation Looking Glass.
That's what I told people. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
So it's AI that was doing the calculations in Operation Looking Glass. So when you put Heru picture in, they reading his facial features, which tells
like, man. Matter of fact, let me see. Can I show it to y'all? Look at this right here. Look at this shit. I'm gonna show you, man. This shit freaked me out. I said, how the fuck AI know if that nigga how he's gonna look like that? You know what I'm saying? Let's see if it's on here. Man, this shit's crazy too. Watch this. This because Haru, he looks just like this now. So he had a beard. They showed him with a beard. Look, I'm gonna show you. This shit is crazy, man. Here you go, right here. This is what my son look like now too. If you look at him. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this. I gotta turn this back screen off. Man, watch this AI. That's what I'm saying.